Ramadan Mubarak from Saudi Arabia. This is Chris Kim broadcasting. Last one for the moment. A couple things I wanted to cover. I'm sure everybody who's like World Cup crazy like I am is World Cupped out from yesterday's pregame, but now the serious round starts. But I'd like to say a couple things to wrap up. I was in the States when the U.S. Grouping was announced, and I remember sitting with another football nut who wears a Barcelona hat all the time and is an Arsenal fan, but other than that, I like him. He just looked at me and said, there is no way the United States is getting out of this group. And prior to it, I kind of thought the same thing. This was one of the groups of death. So, looking at everything in totality, and at the end of the day, the U.S. made it through. They're not Germany. Either it's because they were a little afraid of how quickly Germany can hit you, and they knew they needed to stay tight, given the Ghana-Portugal game going on the side, and I admit I was watching both. Sitting, going back and forth, freaking out as a fan, but I give this team all the credit in the world. Okay, that was an unbelievable beating Ghana, who's a very tough team, almost beating Portugal, but getting the draw, and maybe Cristiano wasn't as hurt as I thought. Because of the game he played against Ghana, he came very close to single-handedly putting Portugal in the round of 16 instead of the U.S. And playing Germany intelligently. Okay. Again, was it pretty? No. Did I wish they attacked more? Yes. Did it look like they gave Germany a little too much respect? Probably. But here's the thing. They're going through. So, congratulations. Another thing. I give them all the credit in the world. Maybe it's because of Chicago. Chicago Bears won once in '63. The Hawks have suddenly turned it around, and the Bulls had the Michael Jordan run. But in Chicago, we've had our disappointments, especially on the Cubs side. And not just the Cubs. I haven't just seen this with the Cubs, but events that turn. The last-minute goal with Portugal. What I give the U.S. all the credit in the world was they got over that. They could have crumbled. And if you don't think that teams crumble. As a Cub fan, I believe it was 2004, they were up in Game 6. If they won Game 6, they go to to the rest of the World Series in baseball in the United States. But they had a play in the 8th inning. The pitcher was pitching great, a foul ball. A fan interfered, unfortunately, in Wrigley Field in Chicago with a Cub player who could have caught it, and there would have been 2 out, and it looked like the Cubs were going to go on and win Game 6 and move on to a championship that they hadn't been to since 1943. And the fact that they haven't won it since 1908, a team can have a bad century, right? But that play by the fan and the Cubs completely fell apart. They lost Game 6, they lost Game 7, and they've been terrible ever since, pretty much. They've been terrible for 100 years, except for odd years here and there. The ground ball underneath Leanne Durham's glove. A missed extra point, actually, for, I believe it was the 49ers versus the Giants in a playoff game. Think any sport of one event and teams have fallen apart. This team could have. They didn't. And that's teams take on the personalities of their coach. And Kleinsman said, it's over, we move on, we beat Germany. And this was a team who had to travel 10,000 miles over a very short time frame to play 3 games. I give them all the credit in the world. Now, Michael Bradley, who I've been hard on the first 2 games, while the U.S. didn't attack, I thought he actually played really well. And he's anchored that middle, and he played very intelligently, and him and Jermaine Johnson worked very well on sometimes attacking forwards and rotating in and out. I thought Bradley passed extremely well. I think he found his men. I think he was the energy. And what was a tired team? It was a tired team against Germany. So, Michael Bradley is back, did a fantastic job. So, going in, I'm going to jump ahead. Again, anything can happen. I know the 16. I actually working from notes. I usually don't work from notes. I have the 16 draw, but I don't know how the 16 come together. I only know who plays who. The United States played Belgium in a friendly before they played Germany last summer. They beat Germany. They didn't play Belgium well. They turned the ball over, gave up a couple of goals, and it turned out to be not the best played game. This is not the same U.S. team. This team's got confidence. It's got its swag going, and anything can happen. Do I think the U.S. will win in my brain? No. But at this level, anything can happen. And I think because of how Belgium plays, they tend to sit back and counter. And I'll hand it to Kleinsman. He's a great tactician and a motivator, I believe. They've had the tactics right, even against Germany, though I didn't like it. I think they can beat Belgium. I'm not saying they will. Right now, I'm not predicting. I'll give my predictions, but what I think we've learned is anything can and has happened in this World Cup. I think the United States got a good chance to get to the round of 8. But again, the recovery they made, kudos, because I was definitely watching them going, they're going to fall. They're not going to make this. And yes, they were helped by Cristiano Ronaldo, but they also didn't give Ghana or Portugal a lot of opening. Portugal needed like 2 or 3 more goals, and the U.S. helped. Did Germany dial back? Yes and no. Did the U.S. attack in the last 90 minutes with Yettel or whatever the gentleman's name came in on the right, who I criticized for being a bit selfish in the Portugal game? He made a heck of a play. He made a heck of a run. He's one of these guys, I think, that can fire them up. And I saw offense and can make a big play. So, go USA. The other side, Portugal, they went for it. Both Ghana and Portugal went for it. Those are 2 tough teams. The own goal, everybody said the referee, who knows what would happen out there? Nobody knows, but it was unfortunate. It happened in the U.S. Okay? It happens. But they had a chance to defend. So the goal wasn't the referee's fault. They came back, they played hard, and Cristiano Ronaldo, boy, I haven't seen him get that many opportunities, and he didn't miss. He was stopped. But the goal he got was due to, the goalie not catching it, just slapping it out in front. Boneheaded plays. We've had it all. But that was an entertaining game, even though I was sitting on the edge of my seat swearing and saying all sorts of things. I'm glad my son wasn't around to hear. The last 2 teams going through, obviously Germany went through. Congratulations also to Germany. They look extremely tough, although that back line is still Swiss cheese. I'm having a hard time thinking they will win because of that back line, and Neuer has not been tested. He will be tested in the knockout round. We'll see. Okay, last group, who goes through, and sorry, I'm going to check my notes because, most of them exhausted. The last group was Russia, Korea, Algeria, and Belgium. Belgium, playing one man short, beat South Korea. I did not see that game. So I'll let it for those to go through 1-0. South Korea had a chance, but an outside chance. So I'm not sure that, when you don't think you can win, sometimes it's hard to play. And Belgium is extremely talented, but I can't comment. I did see the Algeria-Russia game. Russia, again, the team I can't figure out. I think they have all the talent in the world. It was a repeat of 2 years ago, their Euro. First game, they played well. Second game, they played well. Third game, they didn't show. They showed against Algeria in the first 10 minutes. They got a beautiful goal. And then, I don't know if it was Algeria or their tactic. They tried to protect it and failed. Algeria is a fun team to me. They were a fun team 4 years ago, even playing against the United States, which frustrated me. It frustrated England. They have people who can put the ball in the net. Congratulations to the nation. Congratulations to them. Nigeria and Algeria going through, unbelievable. World Cup is going global, and anybody can. There are no more patsies. There are no more easy victories. Iran, no more easy victories. So this is what's making the World Cup great. So, now, I'm not going to be in tomorrow because I'm going to probably have to miss tonight's games. I will broadcast again. But here, the group of 16, the games that will not be on tonight. Who went through? Group A, Brazil and Mexico went through. Group B, Netherlands and Chile went through. Brazil plays Chile. A derby day. Who knows? I don't think Brazil has played well. I don't think they have a very good defensive line. And Neymar has carried the offense. His creativity has carried the offense. And Chile plays very smart. Now, 90,000 or how many 100,000 people coming together in a stadium, a nation for you, can be a great benefit and can be a huge hindrance. Okay? I'm going to pick Chile on what people are considering an upset. It's really a toss-up game to me. The X factor is Cesar. I've never seen him in a pressure game. Okay? I don't know what kind of keeper he is. He's athletic. I saw him in the Confed Cup. He was never really tested. He moves well. He could be the difference to keep Brazil in it, because that line, except for Silva, there are a lot of gaps there. They play boneheaded football. Okay? And if you can kind of slow Neymar down, and you can, okay, I'm going with Chile. I'm not sure the second game tonight is, but I'll go right down the line. Netherlands, Mexico, Netherlands. Mexico will give them a game. I think with Van Persie and Robben, I think they're playing as well as anybody. Now, mind you, I've seen the Netherlands, except for the last World Cup, win all three and then go out in the first round. I just think they're a team who's going to go deep into this tournament. The next 4 games I'm going to do, and I'll do my other 4. Greece, Costa Rica. Greece is one of these freaky teams. I wonder if they just give the evil eye to everybody. They qualified in the Euro. They won a Euro, surprisingly. This is the first time I've seen them go through in the World Cup, though. Costa Rica is playing extremely well. Greece doesn't score that much. Costa Rica plays very defensive. I'm calling this a toss-up. I want to say Costa Rica, but Greece is this funny thing about them to get the goal when it is needed. Costa Rica played very well. And Campbell can be a load. Okay? Odds are you got to say Costa Rica, but as I say, the Greek team has strange winning ways. Ought to be interesting. And then another derby, Colombia, Uruguay. Big thing, Uruguay without Suarez. I called him a selfish player. I think he is a selfish player, but he's obviously got another problem. 3 times. Who knows? Excuse me a second. Not advertising. Uh, Forlan did not impress me in game one. But he's a smart, savvy player, and he's got that big left foot. He may be the difference. I think everybody's picking Colombia. This is where I'm gonna go Uruguay, even though I said they were done without Suarez, because it's a little bit like what I'm gonna say about the United States. All groups were tough. They had a group of death themselves, Uruguay. And sometimes you go through a lot of dog fights. It means you're the better dog. Colombia played well, but I don't think their group was as tough with Japan and Cote d'Ivoire and Greece. You know, Colombia, it's been 16 years. I think Uruguay's a little bit more of a workman-like team, and they get goals from Godin, from the back line. They get goals from different people. And it's Will Forlan, again, big match man. This is a big match now. This is elimination. I think Uruguay might just shock Colombia. So I will hopefully broadcast. I'll throw I'll throw out my predictions. I'll analyze them later. Switzerland plays Argentina. Everybody's going with Argentina. Argentina still cannot play defense. I'm going with Switzerland to upset the Argentinians. And my son loves Messi. Wow, did he come to play? I think the Swiss are going to upset them. They don't play defense, and the Swiss can play a disciplined game. If they keep their heads, I think they're going to beat Argentina. France, Nigeria, boy, Nigeria has talent, but the French are my dark horse. I got to go with the French team. Germany, Algeria, it's hard to pick against Germany. I just think they'll go to the next round. And I'm going to pick the United States against Belgium, head and heart. Head and heart. I think they're going to at least get to the round of 8. But happy World Cup. Now we're down to brass tacks, and looking forward to some very good football. Take care, and hopefully with the gang, we'll talk soon.